The graduation address gives us the opportunity to hear from a distinguished member of our alumni community. And we're very fortunate today that the address will be delivered by Mr. David Hawkins. Mr. Hawkins is the Chairman and Managing Director of BASF for Australia and New Zealand. Mr. Hawkins joined BASF in 1999 to run the information technology platform and was later appointed Director of the Service platform. He was then promoted to the head of corporate functions for Australia and New Zealand at BASF, which involved the management of finance, tax, supply chain, human resources, procurement, real estate and information management. Prior to BASF, Mr. Hawkins held a number of roles in a glass manufacturing business, including manufacturing management, strategy, business re-engineering, systems design and implementation. He is a graduate of Monash University with double degrees in engineering and science and holds a Master of Business Administration from Deakin University. He's also a graduate member of the Australian Institute of Company Directors. Mr. Hawkins is a board member of Chemistry Australia, a member of the Male Champions for Change, Australian Industry Group, Gartner CEO Forum and a trustee of the Committee for Economic Development of Australia. I now have much pleasure in inviting Mr. David Hawkins to deliver today's graduation address.
Chancellor, Mr. Simon McKeon. Deputy Vice-Chancellor and Vice President of Global Engagement, Professor Abid Khan. Deputy Dean Leadership and Executive Education of the Faculty of Business and Economics, Professor Richard Hall. Associate Dean International of the Faculty of Engineering, Professor Hu An Tin Wang. Members of the faculty, ladies and gentlemen, and especially our new graduates. We acknowledge the traditional owners of this land and pay our respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging. Congratulations to all of you graduating today. This is a major achievement. Take some time to enjoy the benefit of all that hard work and celebrate your success. The global megatrends presented by the likes of CSIRO and EY provide the context of your working life. By 2050, we will have about 10 billion people on this planet. This creates challenges in terms of food supply, increased urbanisation and mobility. Our Earth has limited supply of natural minerals, energy, water and food resources essential for human survival, not to mention the resources needed to fuel our extravagant lifestyles and that of a constantly growing middle class in emerging markets. We will need more from less. We will see a shift of wealth from west to east. In the chemical industry, we forecast that China alone will account for over 50% of the global chemical production by 2030. It will also be a world of higher connectivity, where individuals, communities, governments and businesses are immersed in virtual worlds to a much greater extent than ever before. And aspiration will be greater than ever. There is rising demand for experience over products and social relationships gain in importance. Your future of work will be different. You should expect to go through a number of career changes as jobs adapt. New technology disrupts ways of working and new types of jobs are created. These jobs may not even exist today. When I started my career in 1992, we shared a computer between 4 of us, and we were debating whether the internet really was a work tool. Email was rare, and we still used fax machines, internal memos, and the postal service. We were just implementing a ban on smoking in the workplace, and flexibility at work was taking a different route to work in the morning. The disruption you experience will be faster than ever before. And there are lessons from our past that we must heed. Kodak first invented the digital camera in 1975. They failed to see the potential of their new invention, and the possibility of better technology, and were driven by a fear of disrupting their dominant film position. The peak of film sales was in 2001, and Kodak was the clear market leader. But disruption was coming. And within 3 years, sales had halved, and they effectively ceased to exist by 2012. I visited Kodak in the late 90s, and they were an example of a highly effective organisation with the best sales and operations planning in the industry. They were a great company. But when we don't change, competence can't save you. Success in your career is not going to be based on competence alone. It will be based on your ability to adapt to change and to the environment around you. As you embark or further your career with your Monash University degree, I urge you to remain open to new opportunities. Find role models and listen to them. Early in my career, I had a clear view of where I thought my job was heading. I was working in a plant. I was enjoying the challenge and the contribution I was making. Then my managing director at the time asked me to join a project to design our business processes and then implement a new computer system to run them. I still remember that discussion from 22 years ago. Jeff, my managing director, spent an hour talking about the benefits and advantages I would get from joining this project. I said, thanks, but I'm clear of my job, I'm enjoying it and want to continue it, so no thanks. The next day he called me again, and he spent another hour talking of stories on his career, and I was increasingly certain that he was not going to take no for an answer. At the end of a particularly long story, he asked me a question. David, he said, what is the moral of the story I just told you? And then I got it. Don't say no to the managing director. And with that, I embarked on a project that challenged me and engaged me like none other I've had in my career. Through that experience, I changed my career and found a discipline I was better at and enjoyed more. It has been the biggest reason why I'm currently the Managing Director of BASF in Australia and New Zealand. So my advice to you is that as a Monash University graduate, you bring so much more than what you just studied. I have done many graduate interviews, and the most common response on a future career is that I want to use the degree I just studied for. Now, of course, that is a fine aspiration, but I say be more ambitious than that. A Monash University degree does not just bring knowledge, it develops you as a person. You form networks, you learn to collaborate, you solve complex questions and problems, you organise your time, and you achieve through times of pressure and stress. In a world where innovation, digitalisation and sustainability are key, you bring so much more than what you studied. Find an organisation that you can be passionate about and give all of yourself to it. For me, that is working for a company that lives by a great corporate purpose. We create chemistry for a sustainable future. Find your purpose in the organisation you work for. The biggest lesson we learn from our past is that new ways of thinking will require us to embrace and leverage all our skills and diversity. It really is true that doing the same things in the same way does produce the same result. Personally, I hope that your generation is the first to bring gender diversity and inclusivity as the key to driving the innovation we need. I'm proud to be part of an organisation called Male Champions of Change, where a number of male CEOs work within their organisations to promote and enable better gender diversity. For all the women in the room graduating today, and for my 3 daughters under 14, I hope that the workplace you enter and then create values women in leadership in equal measure with men. And for all the men in the room, I say that you will have the best workplaces, engagement and opportunity that will meet the needs of customers and society. I am optimistic about the future. I am optimistic because people like this graduating class will enter and transform the workplace and society. You will be courageous, passionate, capable and innovative. You will bring sustainability to the way you view the world, and you will lead society to respond to its challenges. You will embrace digital disruption without losing sight of the individual. You will run the most inclusive organisations in human history. Your Monash University degree you are graduating with today is the foundation for all of this. Be brave, be bold, thank you, and good luck.